Okay, we are live. So, Chris, I don't know if you can see it'll probably be on the right-hand side. People will put like questions and comments
Okay.
in. If you can see that. And
Yeah, I got it.
and then you should also, there should be something in there where oh yeah, at the top left-hand side of your screen, there's like a little eyeball. And that number will show you how many people are watching at that current time.
Okay.
Yeah, we usually get like 500 to 600, and then like some of our bigger videos do like 1,200. So
Wow, awesome.
yeah, people are starting to come in. So
Cool.
we'll do our little intro thing here, and then I will get started with Mr. Chris Sadler this evening.
Do it. Do it, Ray. Yeah, son! Woo!
Back down. Oh!
Nope, just one. We don't need them that.
What's happening, everybody? Got Mr. Chris Sadler on this evening, and first and foremost, I want to talk about a couple of new things with JLS. For those of you that have been asking, yes, anglers in Annapolis will be carrying our rods this year. And then the other question that we get all the time is, when are you guys going to get some hats and stuff? We signed a contract yesterday. I can't really say a whole lot just yet about it, but we will have a whole new apparel line, and it's some really nice stuff that I think everybody's going to like. And you should be watching for that sometime around the 1st of April. And then lastly, for those of you who aren't, please check out the Light Tackle Ladies on Facebook. That's it's a joint venture between me and Bill Montgomery of BKD. And the girls are going to do a lot more this year than just fishing tournaments. And they have some really exciting things. So for you guys out there that have wives or girlfriends or daughters that want to get into fishing or the outdoors, be watching, because I can guarantee you we have some stuff coming that's just awesome, and that'll give them a chance to connect with some other women and get in the outdoors and do things. And we're trying to work it out so that there's no cost involved either. We have a lot of really big stuff coming in the next few weeks with JLS, so it's going to be really awesome. Please keep an eye out for all that stuff. And so my guest this evening is Chris Sadler. And aside from a Maryland local, Chris is also a sales rep for several major brands. Most notably, and what we're going to talk about a lot tonight, is going to be Smith Optics. Chris, thanks for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about Smith Optics and how you got into that, and then we'll kind of dig into the nuts and bolts of all that a little bit too.
Well, most that aren't familiar with Smith with sunglasses, to start off the bat, you can always say, what ski goggles do you have? And most people know, I have Smith ski goggles. Same brand. So Smith was started in 1965, actually by a guy named Bob Smith, who was a podiatrist at the time. And there was a problem with people's ski goggles fogging, because everything on a ski goggle back then was a single lens. So it was just one single lens, hot air inside the lens on your face, cold air outside, boom, your goggles fogged all the time. So he created a thermal lens system. So it's actually a dual lens. You have an outer lens and an inner lens, which you kind of see basically throughout the industry now with ski and snowboard goggles. And it creates a dead air space, and that eliminated fogging. So kind of to fast forward to now in 2022, Smith has always been an eyewear brand. So we have our roots in eyewear. Started with ski goggles. Now we got, of course, sunglasses. We're making a lot of waves in the fishing market with sun. And on top of that, we also do a full line of downhill mountain bike and road bike glasses and helmets as well. So eyewear, bike helmets, bike glasses, and ski and snowboard goggles and helmets too is kind of our rounds us out.
Yeah. How long ago did you guys start like into the fishing market?
We've always been, so I've been with Smith for going on 12 years now. I work for an agency, so there's about 7 of us in the agency. We cover the mid-Atlantic and Southeast all the way down to Georgia. I specifically just do Maryland, Delaware, and parts of northern West Virginia. We've always in this area been pushing Smith, even 12 years ago to get more stuff for us for on the water. It's always been kind of just an active outdoor lifestyle sunglass brand. And now over the last probably I'd say 5 years, we've really started to kind of dig deep into more of the fishing market and kind of really biting on the heels of Costa lately. So
I think you guys really hit a home run with the Guide Series glasses. I love them things. I have like 3 different colors of them, and
yeah,
they're awesome.
Guide's Choice. It was kind of a few years ago what came out and what really kind of propelled us, and it's still to this day our #1 seller. Not just in the kind of fishing line of glasses, but just overall in our entire lineup, it's our #1 seller. And now also comes in an extra large version. So kind of give you an idea here. This is the regular Guide's Choice. So it's kind of got a nice thicker temple there for good sun coverage.
Yep.
You'll have, might be kind of hard to see, but you've got rubber pads on the nose here and then also rubber pads on the temple. So this rubber actually is activated by perspiration. And when you perspire, it's actually going to get a little tacky. So that rubber kind of gets sticky to help keep them on your face. And then the great feature about this is this rubber here actually will come off. And there's an integrated wire lanyard that comes.
I use that lanyard.
That'll keep it on your keep it around your neck when you're reaching over the transom or trying to fight a fish. So for kind of just purposes of show, that's the Guide's Choice and how it fits. And then for the guys that have a lot larger heads, we did the XL, which is a little bit more larger coverage, larger frame, which definitely for me is a little bit too big, but it'll come down further here around your cheek and be a little wider on the head too. And these all have stainless steel spring hinges that won't rust or corrode.
The 2 things that I've really, besides the lenses themselves, that I really like about Smith is that integrated leash. I use that. I know a lot of people don't. I do. And I also like the hinges, how springy they are on, because it makes it a lot harder to break them. Like
it does, yeah.
Other glasses don't really have that, and like if you over flex them out, the opposite way of your head.
These
just snap them off
pretty wide. I mean, you can take them and they're gonna get better. And if anything ever does happen, Smith has a really great lifetime warranty. So for the life of the sunglass, it's protected against any type of manufacturer defect, whether that be for some reason the mirrored coating starts kind of chipping away, or what we call crazing, kind of gets a weird chipped look to it. For any reason the hinges break, the rubber temples or the rubber nose piece comes off for any reason. So anything that's not supposed to happen to the sunglass for the life of it, they'll cover it. It's real easy. There's a claim form online. You fill out, send your sunglass back, and they'll either replace it if it's a warranty issue or repair it for you for a small charge. So,
So let me ask you this, Chris. This is actually kind of something that I didn't plan on, but I want to hit on it. And this is like one of the reasons that I personally switched over to Smith. You say a lifetime warranty. What do you mean by that? Because I know somebody else has that, and they're not exactly honoring it anymore.
Not quite, and that's unfortunately that has a lot to do with who they're owned by now. So Smith is owned by a company in Italy called Safilo. That's our parent company, but we are allowed to operate pretty much entirely independently and always have been. So it allows us to really take care of the customer. We don't have a lot of kind of hands in the pot, if you say.
So how would somebody go about making a warranty claim if they had one? Would they're not contacting you, right?
No, they don't contact me. They don't contact say they went and bought them from a local dealer. They don't contact the local dealer. You go to smithoptics.com, go to the warranty section. There's a form on there you can fill out online and submit. And then you get a claim number back through your email, print it, send it in. And usually once they get it, it's about a 2-week turnaround time. So it's pretty quick.
Nice. And somebody says, I've had a couple pairs replaced under their warranty. Here, I'll put it up so everybody can see it. Hands down, the easiest experience to get them replaced. That's awesome. I hope I never have to have it done, but I mean, it's nice to know that if you do, you can.
Yep.
And then my wife, Jamie, who just loves her Smith glasses. And that's one thing she did note, that she would like to see more styles of the ladies' frames and fishing glasses.
So this is one of the new ones that came out late summer. This is the Joya. So this will have those holes right there in the temple. And that actually, instead of the rubber like on the Guide's Choice, where it's a rubber insert, this actually has what's called a pivlock. So actually the end of the lanyard has a little plastic piece that pops in there and then clips down to lock it.
Nice.
So actually pretty easy to use.
So they actually did come out with what you were looking for, Jamie.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
So you got the Joya, and then we also got the Rockaway. Rockaway here in this kind of real pretty, kind of bluish sky torque color.
Nice. Now, do they come in the different colored lenses like the Guide's Choice does?
They will, yeah. So this color here has an opal mirrored, which is kind of like a mix of a green and a blue. And then this sky torque here comes in that blue mirror.
Nice.
So many different options. There's also a torque with a brown lens. There's just straight black with a grayish black lens. So kind of everything you need as far as the lens option for on the water, in the stream, on the road, wherever you are.
So I think, I'm not sure, like sometimes you'll see people talk online about fishing glasses. And, some guys are like, oh, I just got my $20 pair of Calcuttas from Walmart, and that's all you need. But, it's not. You know what I mean? Like there's a huge difference in the lenses and a quality optics like Smith or Costa. And then I feel like then you have like a medium grade, which would be what are those glasses that a lot of people wear? But and then in like the $100 range, and then you drop down to like that $20, $30 range. And like when you're out sight fishing, and especially, but optics aren't just good for sight fishing either. But like for cobia, last year I was sight fishing for permit in Florida with Captain Tony. I think you know Tony, don't you, Chris?
I don't think I do.
Okay. Well, we were down there and we were fishing for permit, sight fishing for them. Like, even though they flash, like sometimes they don't flash at you.
Yeah.
But, like you don't want to miss a fish of a lifetime because you spent $20 on a pair of glasses, Yeah. But
not only that, not just for seeing the fish, but for around where we are in the bay. I mean, you get a bad storm that puts down a lot of debris from the Susquehanna through the bay. And if you're running up the bay and you don't see that log that's sitting, a foot, 6 inches to foot out underwater, that can tear up the transom. So there's not just looking for fish, but just also looking for just, obstructions and danger in the water too. And eye protection. So, a $20 lens that's just a stamped plastic polycarbonate that's kind of cheap from a Calcutta might not protect your lens if a line breaks and a swivel snaps back in your eye or something like that. So,
or get distracted by barracuda.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the Chromapop lens and the reason why for somebody that's maybe never tried on a pair of Smiths or have them. What when we first got ours, when Jamie and I first got ours last spring, I took I took them and of course I went outside and I put them on. And the one thing that I noticed was there was like a real like a color enhancement almost with
Real
the.
vivid.
So what is that? What's that all about?
So a lot of people will know through if they've already had a Costa. Costa has different series, like a 580.
Hmm.
So, and what that number is actually a frequency. So it's your retina can actually distinguish certain colors at certain light frequencies. So certain frequencies, like a 580, certain colors will overlap, and your retina can't distinguish that color. With something like Chromapop that's in our lenses, the lens will actually separate out those colors at those frequencies. And a lot of times it's like your blues and greens will overlap, or your reds and blues, and your eye really can't distinguish the true color. Chromapop filters it. It's a natural filter. It's not like a artificial filter that's put over the lens or like a mirrored coating. It's a natural filter that works with your eye that'll actually help you distinguish true color. So your blues will pop, your reds will pop, the greens will pop. It's really cool. And this is, I think, one thing that Alan Batista talked about in one of his books was like on a spring day, Chromapop going down the road driving when all the bright greens of the trees are all out for the first time. Man, it's eye opening.
Yeah,
Color.
they do. It really enhances the color. It's kind of neat at first when you put it on. I mean, after a while you get used to it, but at first you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like
too. So it's going to help be a little more softer on your eyes when you take your glasses off if you've been wearing for a couple hours, and you kind of get that almost like that shock or that brightness of the sunlight. Chromapop helps actually reduce that in a way that almost reduces your eye fatigue. So when you take them off, if you're outside, you're not going to get that initial kind of bright shock where your eyes have to adjust real quickly.
Yeah, I feel like it's like the difference between watching high definition TV and like just regular, I guess I don't know what they classify it as, but that's what it's always been like for me.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think is really neat about Smith is that you guys, especially like in the guide's choice and like I haven't really looked at like your snowboarding line and stuff because I just don't do it. But like in the fishing line, you guys have like, it feels like 10 different colors. And I myself own a pair of the blue, a pair of the green, and a pair of the yellow. And I like the blue and blue water, so like if we're in the ocean or in the lower bay where the water's a lot bluer, I generally wear them. In the upper bay where the water's dirtier and brown, I wear the brown lens. Or like if I'm pond fishing with Hunter or something like that. And then on cloudy days, I like yellow.
Fly fishing, yeah. Yellow's great for low light conditions. So if you're back in a stream trout fishing or fly fishing somewhere where you're under a lot of shade or in and out of sun and shade like that, yellow's good, or even a brown tinted lens, a brown based lens. And then the blue mirrors and the blacks and the grays are really good for where you're in a lot of sun exposure, high sun angles, open water, offshore, places like that.
Do you think that the gray is a good color for like the lower bay and the ocean? Or I always wondered what the gray was. What?
Well, the blue is a gray base, so underneath the blue mirror is a gray based lens, and it's just good gray or even black. We have a Chromapop black that's even darker. It's just good for where there's a lot of sun exposure and a higher sun angle, so you're getting a lot of glare off the water.
Okay.
That gray is going to cut out the glare more. Whereas like a brown or a yellow actually helps increase contrast. So if you're in shade, you don't have that sun going through the water to hit the fish. You need to increase contrast. So that's where the yellow or the browns work in.
So
or even up in the upper bay where it's more shallow. If you're in the flats or somewhere like that, or up in the northern Susquehanna, you can wear, especially on a cloudy day, a brown base or a yellow to help kind of increase the contrast.
Do you think that the black would be a good color for cobia?
It probably would be down there. When I went back in August. It was my first trip doing cobia, which was a blast getting on those fish. But it was a really bright sunny day. I had on just a regular gray lens, and the lenses, if you go to our website, you can actually look at all the lenses, and there will be a VLT number. And VLT is your visual light transmission. So the lower the percentage, the less light the lens lets in. So it's going to block out more sun, more glare. And then the higher the VLT, it's letting in more light. So something like a yellow or a brown base is going to let in a little more light to help increase the contrast.
Okay.
So summer when you're down south by the tunnel, sight fishing for cobia, definitely a gray or a black base would be good down there.
Awesome. I think that a lot of anglers don't really consider having 2, 3, 4 pairs of glasses for those different conditions. And to be honest with you, up until probably 3 or 4, 5 years ago, maybe probably 3, 4 years ago, I never really thought of it either. And Frank Bonanno had said something to me about, I have, like a couple different pairs. And that got me thinking. I was like, yeah, it's probably right. Like I should. And like now, like, before we stopped using Coastal, Jamie and I both had at least 2 or 3 colors, and now the same thing with Smith. And I think I'm actually going to probably try a pair of those black ones now, because like it's weird. Like my eyes, for some reason, I have a lot of trouble like seeing cobia. Like Jamie can stand on the front of the boat and she can like point them out, and I can be up in a tower and be like, oh yeah, there, like, I don't know. I guess my eyes just aren't in tune with it or something, but I have a lot of trouble. So anything that like gives me a little bit more of an edge, and I think I'm going to grab a pair of the black lenses and see if that helps me.
Yeah. Not just for, most guys that fish, aren't really one trick ponies. Most of us, we'll do some offshore. We'll do some stuff today. Some guys might, go down the Keys, or you do some stuff inshore, pond fishing, stuff like that. So you always want to have a lens that's going to work wherever you're fishing. Not only that, but you could even have, a pair for the boat and a pair for the car. So the ones on the boat are going to get a little more beat up. If you have a pair for the car that you wear out, just on a regular casual day or walking around or something, you want something that's not so beat up and fish blood or scratched and things like that.
So John Bonanno actually just asked what my next question was going to lead to you, Chris. Where can people out there that are new to Smith, where can they find it locally? And and of course you guys have a website online. And by the way, I don't want to cut you off, but for those of you watching, check that website out and go look at the guide's choice and check out all the different colored lenses. And then, you can click on them and read about them and what, it's really interesting. So even if you're going to buy locally, like research it on the website, know what you're going to be looking for.
Yeah. And also with the lenses, before I get into the dealers that carry them around here, we're also, we do a glass lens and also a polycarbonate lens. So for example, your guide's choice will come in a poly option and also a glass option. Glass runs you about $239. Polycarbonate will start at $179. And main difference there, glass is more optically correct than a polycarbonate. So polycarbonate's a plastic. It does have a little bit of refraction. Your naked eye probably can't see it, but glass is 100% optically correct. It's also scratch resistant more than the polycarbonate is. Just naturally, glass is scratch resistant. So glass is always better, but it also is a little heavier. So some guys always complain that glass will kind of weigh down on your nose bridge and start to hurt a little bit. Our glass, for us specifically, for Smith, is a little lighter than some other competitors. So you might actually find a glass lens that doesn't give you that nose fatigue. But around locally, if you research them online, we have a dealer locator on smithoptics.com. So you can type in your zip code, see who around you sells them. In the Maryland area, our largest selection can be found at All Tackle in Annapolis. They carry about 80 to 100 pair at a time. So a huge selection. Pretty much everything we make is there. You can find the guide's choice in probably 6 to 8 colors at a time and different lens options. You've also got Island Tackle Outfitters over on the Eastern Shore. They're going to pick up the line as of this week. So find them probably in about, say, 10 to 14 days. They should have a good assortment over there. If you're down at the shore, at the beach, Atlantic Tackle, big offshore tackle shop at Ocean City. They've got a great selection. Any of the surf shops down in Ocean City, if you're down there on vacation, K-Coast, Quiet Storm, Malibu's, Atlantic Shoals, all the way up to Rehoboth, Quiet Storm, they'll carry them. And then down south, if you're more like in the Virginia area, you've got Ocean's East down there, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Cape Charles. You got Bailey's Bait and Tackle over in Cape Charles that carries them. So quite a few if you just pop in the dealer locator. And not just the tackle shops, I mentioned the surf shops, but if you're in Annapolis, there's a great sunglass store on Main Street called Shades of the Bay. Their sunglass specialty, they carry Smith, they carry Maui, Costa, all the top brands. They've got a great selection of Smith too, and you can go there and check them out, try them on. And when you do try them on in the store, make sure you always ask the employee, but most will let you go walk outside with them. So don't just try them on in the store and look at the fluorescent lights in the store. Go outside the front door, walk around outside with them, see how they look actually in natural light before making your decision. But most will find that they're great fitting sunglass. We've got the lifetime warranty to back them up, and we're just trying to.
But you guys actually do back up. That's the important thing,
Yep.
If whatever your warranty is, you have to back it up. And I think we've all unfortunately heard that not everybody's doing that anymore. So, all right, Chris. So unless there's any more you'd like to tell us about Smith, I have another direction that I want to go with you.
We do have the one new piece that we got coming out that's a little different that we talked about before going live was a new frame called the Spinner, where we actually have a full single lens that doesn't have a nose bridge on the outside here. So for someone looking for no distraction behind the lens, we now got this new full shield and what's called the Spinner.
Keep them up for just a second, Chris. I'm going to make you into the full screen so that
and I'll put them on too. So there's no nose bridge here. It's one single lens, so totally full coverage. And the little nose piece that actually does connect on the inside here, when you have them on, you actually don't even really see it. So there's no distraction there. There's nothing blocking your view if you look left and right. And then they still have the integrated lanyard that comes with them that clips onto the temple.
Nice.
So that'll be new. Those are just released, so they might not be hitting stores yet, but they will in the next couple weeks.
Awesome. So another brand that I find really interesting that you're selling now, and that I'm a huge fan of, I follow on Instagram, and I just absolutely love their content, is the Qualified Captain.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, those guys are just hilarious, and I actually think they kind of spoofed me a little bit, but I want to hear more about that. Like, so how are you a sales representative for Qualified Captain? What are you doing with these guys? What's happening?
So basically, as an agency, we can sell multiple brands. So I sell Smith, I sell Qualified, Olukai for one, Richardson hats, just to name a few. So as long as it's not a competing brand, like I can't sell Smith and also work for Costa,
right?
We can sell some different brands. So one of the guys that runs our sales agency lives down in Wilmington, this guy Joe, and he's friends with Aaron, who started the Qualified Captain. And Aaron started it back in 2016. He was working actually at one of the boat ramps there in Wilmington, and kind of just saw that every day-to-day, idiots, and started to kind of make this Instagram page, and saw all the stupid stuff going on in the water. But Also wanted to do it to help promote boating safety. So if you go to thequalifiedcaptain.com, he's got a whole section on there of where to find a boater safeties course. He promotes boating safety. So it's not just an Instagram page that's there to kind of, show you some boating fails and spoofs and stuff like that. It's also got a good, a good thing behind it. And on the website, he even sells a really great kind of boating safety survival kit that's more robust and has more stuff in it that you need for any kind of emergency on the water. So it's not just your run-of-the-mill Walmart first aid kit that you have to have, per the Coast Guard. It's actually got a lot of stuff in it that you really want to have on a boat. And Aaron himself is he's a tow captain. So he's a sea tow captain, so he knows what he's doing on the water at the same time. But through the popularity of his Instagram page and the hilarity that ensued through that, he, of course, started getting the requests for apparel, T-shirts, hats with the logo on it. So he started selling that stuff on his website. And then going into 2022, this spring, we'll have the apparel in actual shops throughout the area. So he's now going into wholesale to sell them into shops. So you'll see him in places like All Tackle should have theirs pretty soon. Atlantic Tackle down in Ocean City just got their order this week. And it's all kind of just, it's either T-shirts with their Qualified Captain logo on it, or there's some stuff that's a little funnier, where you got the...
Oh, hold on. I'll put you back on the full screen there. Oh, I put myself on. I'm sorry. There you go, Chris.
That one there with the boat on the jetty by the lighthouse.
Stuck on the jetty, not by the jetty.
And then the most popular and everyone's the fan favorite is the boat ramp champ. So you got a boat there where there's a truck in the water, there's a boat without a trailer on the boat ramp. It's all the stuff you see on a day-to-day basis in the summer with the weekend warriors. And there's also some more UPF 50 performance fabric shirts too. Nice. That'll come in long sleeve, and also long sleeve with a hood too. So stuff you can wear every day, and then also stuff you can wear in the water that's going to keep you protected as far as the sun shirts.
Nice. That's awesome. So what other brands do you have right now, Chris, and what are you doing?
Another big one is Olakai. A lot of people are familiar with Olakai for flip-flops and the shoes that we make. Really great sandals for on the water. They're a little pricey. People always say, "Oh my gosh, those Olakai sandals are expensive," but they're worth it. They've got really great arch support, which you don't find in a lot of sandals. They're also all non-marking, and they have wet grip rubber, so they're great on the boat, great around the water. You may have even seen we had some national TV ads roll out this summer for the first time that are still playing. And got some really great deck shoes too that are slip-on, water-friendly. With the shoes, a lot of the heels fold down, so you can actually fold the heel down. It's meant to be worn as a slide if you want to just wear it as a slip-on. And then in the winter, we make some really awesome house slippers too.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah. Nice.
One last question that I have for Smith. I actually probably should have asked it before because a friend of mine who could not be on tonight asked me about this. What color lens do you recommend for the like snakehead fishing? Do you do much of that, or?
I haven't. I got a buddy that actually I think is on, Josh. He does a lot up in this area and also down in Blackwater. I would say, depending on where you are, I mean, if you're in like somewhere like Blackwater, I mean, you still have a lot of sun exposure out there because there's not a lot of trees around you. So, but if you're in the shallow water, I definitely would probably start with the brown base. I think actually Alan Batista even talks about it in one of his videos. He was out there sight fishing for snakehead, and he has a video, I think maybe on his Facebook page, where he actually had the Smith sunglass up to the camera and kind of was showing the difference of seeing the weed line on the water and the fish. So if you're shallow, fishing for them in the weeds and stuff like that in the dirty stained water, I definitely would do a brown or like a yellow lens like you have for low light.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I think that's all I have for you this evening, Chris. And I want to thank you again for coming on and for your previous support of JLS. And I can't tell you how much I'm glad that we were using Smith. I really like them. They are the best fishing glasses, hands down, that I've ever used, and that was a big reason why I wanted to have you on this winter, because I thought it was something very well worthwhile to pass on to my customers and the people that follow JLS and like to watch our social media videos and things like that, because we're always trying to help people. Everything that you have, I always preach everything is a tool, whether it's your reel, your line, your lure, your boat, your glasses, they're all tools, and they all come together to make you more successful and a better angler. And I think Smith is a key part of that. And a lot of really, really good fishermen that I know are using and wearing Smith. And, you mentioned Alan. Alan's very well respected. I know like Tony, Moreta, just a lot of guys like that are using them. And, Mike Griffiths just chimed in and said they're great sunglasses and a great warranty. If you're not currently wearing Smith, please check them out. Head over to All Tackle or Island Tackle, Atlantic Tackle if you're in Ocean City, and check them out, because they really are that good. I love them. They're lightweight. I have the glass ones. I don't do the plastic. And I haven't had the problems here. And also, when I was wearing the Costas, they always hurt me like right here, right? Like where they went behind my ear and under my hat. I don't have that with the Smith glasses either. Now, when I say that, all my pairs are the God's choice. So I don't have any of the other frames, but I love that frame. So please check it out.
And appreciate the support. Thanks for having me on. It's been great. If there's anyone out there that is looking to try them on, obviously you mentioned All Tackle, Atlantic Tackle, Shades of the Bay in Annapolis, Island Tackle on the shore, and anyone out there that might have a tackle shop elsewhere in the area and you're looking to expand your sunglasses, feel free to hit Ron up and get my contact info. I'm local. I live right up in Harford County, so Maryland native, born and raised, and fish the area too. So look forward to getting people on the water and some good sunglasses.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Chris.
You got it.
For those of you that may not have been on at the beginning, one more time, we will have rods and anglers again this year, as well as our other tackle shops. And we will have our own line of apparel coming soon. So be looking for all that. Chris, thank you again for joining in tonight, and we'll see you guys next week or the week after.
You got it. Thanks, Ron.